See, all the little baby cake, cakey color all around, and the main plant here is this one here. See, this is the mother, and the mother have all the little baby, the cake is all around it. And I have to tell you how we got the word Ohana, right? And how Ohana came into, it means a whole lot to all the different families. And many thousands of years ago, or hundreds of years ago, probably we say that a wonderful story about the Sky Father. He was known as Wakea, all right? And Wakea, he was kind of rascal. You know, he had many wives, you know, and he didn't have only one, but he had many wives. And he had one particular wife that they stayed together, and as a Ohana, you know, as a mama and a daddy, and they lived together, and they thought, well, we will begin a family, and you know, we better have an Ohana. And so they lived together, and pretty soon his wife, her name was Ho'ohokulani. What was her name? Ho'ohokulani. And what was his name? Wakea. Aye. And so Wakea was the father, and Ho'ohokulani was the mama. Okay, remember, these two are the Makua, they're the parents. And so Ho'ohokulani was hapai, and you know, her opu was getting bigger and bigger. And pretty soon it was time for her to have the baby. And so, but when the baby was born, the baby was not fully born, so that it had all of the hands and the feet, you know, and the head and the eyes and everything. It was just what the Hawaiians call alu. So they said, well, we will take this little baby and we will bury him in the back of our halepili. You know, in the old days, they lived in the grass hut, halepili. And so they buried him in the back of the halepili. All right. And then, a couple of weeks after that, when Wakea went in the back of the house, and lo and behold, he saw this one plant was just growing up. And when the wind blew, it just blew the leaves back and forth, you know. And what a strange looking plant it was, you know. And he said, my, just think, remember where we planted our little baby, you know? And there grew this one little plant, right? And so they took care of this plant, and it grew and it grew, and it had many little babies, just like this, all the little cake is all going all around. This is the story how really Ohana, the word Ohana began, all right? That one little plant that grew up, you know, that grew up where that first little baby was buried was actually what the Hawaiians and the Hawaiian people called as the kalo, or as the taro that we know today, all right? And the taro became so important to all the Hawaiian people, okay? Not because it was their food, because see, that was the very main food, like the Japanese have their rice and the Portuguese have their what? Their bread and jelly or whatever, and the Hawaiians have their potatoes, but the Hawaiians had their kalo, and so they had this as their food, right? And they took care of this plant. But actually, Wakea and Ho'ohokulani had two children. One did not become a whole man like the second one. But the important thing is about this story, this one that became a plant, became the taro, became the food to feed the second son. So the second son that was born actually was the progenitor, we say the progenitor, or the first one of all the Hawaiian race, of all the Hawaiian people. He was the first father, all right. And in order that he and all the rest of the Hawaiian people may survive and may live, they had to feed, or they had to be fed on the what? On the kalo. And so that's the one reason why the kalo came first. See, that if the first progenitor or the first Hawaiian father came first, then they would have nothing to feed on. See, that's the concept about this Ohana thing. The Hawaiian people were the most praying kind of people that I ever came across, because I remember my tutu prayed forever all morning. When he prayed, he blessed everything. By the time he got through eating, we fell asleep at the table, because we were so hungry, waiting for him to finish praying and thanking the Lord for everything. But see, we did that together as a family, and we went out to work in the taro patch together as a family. In the old days, they had that Lauliha concept, where if I had a taro patch to do, maybe 10 acres, and then we Lauliha. And if we have 10 acres to plant and plant the taro, I cannot do that only as one family. So I need several families. So we take all the families in the whole neighborhood and I said, hey, look I have all of this work today. Can you come and help? Oh, all right, sure. And we Lauliha together. We leave all of our other work to do later, and we all come together and we help to do this here. We have when that work is all through, we sit down and we have a pa'ina. See, that's what happened yesterday, and we're grateful because we did all these things together. And then when the first taro is ready to pull and to harvest, we have another pa'ina. That's to be grateful that we put all our hands together. All right, we have all kinds of concept on the Lauliha.